Sandy and I want to thank our family first, our children and our parents for understanding the importance of having the right to choose. They didn't choose this relationship for us. They didn't choose this life for us, but they support and understand that having the right to choose changes your entire life. And for that, we are very grateful. I also want to thank Chad and Ted and David and every single person that helped the legal team with this victory, because you've changed our lives in a way that I can't quite fully appreciate at this moment. And I want to thank Jeff and Paul, because you're changing the world too. With this decision, the system worked. Our courts are supposed to protect our constitutional rights. Today, they did. Today, every American should be proud. For so long, Sandy and I and our family have been regarded as less than, unequal, not worthy of liberty and the pursuit of happiness under the law. But this decision says that we are Americans too. We too should be treated equally. Our family is just as loving, just as real, and just as valid as everyone else's. Today, Sandy and I live in a wonderfully tolerant community surrounded by incredible neighbors and friends. We have solid careers and we own our own home. But I grew up in Bakersfield, California, and I know what it means to be discriminated against. I know that feeling firsthand, and it's tough. In fact, growing up in a place where you don't get to know your real self is incredibly difficult. And I hope that our effort here will change those children's lives, not only in Bakersfield, but across California and across the United States. We want to make a small contribution to that effort. So this decision does make our state better. It makes our nation better. It makes our world better. Today, Sandy and I are truly in awe of what's changing in our lives right before our eyes. And I want to thank Sandy for showing me what it means to be loved and how powerful hope and optimism are in our family and in this case. And I would like you to come up for a few minutes.
Well, thank you, Chris. What a lovely introduction, and every word she said resonates with me, and I think would resonate with many others as well. Thank you all for being here today. It's wonderful to look out and see such friendly faces. Chad, Ted, and David, thank you for working so hard. We're amazed and awed by your commitment and dedication and what you've accomplished, and we know that there is yet more to do. I have to say, I will never forget this day. I'll never forget this entire experience. It's wow. Chris and I have been together for a long time, over 10 years. We've raised children together. We have a home. We do the activities every other family does. We have professional careers. We're very busy. But because of Prop 8, our lives have been incomplete without having access to legal marriage. And today's decision does point toward a final piece that we've been waiting for with as much patience as possible. For me, this decision means equal protection under the law, which means an equal opportunity to marry the person that I love, the person that I choose, the person that I want to spend my life with. And it's what I want for us, but everyone else as well. Tomorrow, I will wake up and have a normal day. We'll do things around the house, check in on kids, go to work, just like I do every other day. But tomorrow will feel different, because tomorrow I will have a sense of security that I haven't been able to experience in the past. Tomorrow, because of this decision, I will know that we are treated in the law just like everybody else. Since I've met Chris, I have been waiting for this day, this moment, never could have imagined it, when we could be legally married, not just in our eyes, which is in our friends and family who love and support us, but legally, a signed, sealed, delivered, legal marriage. I'd like to thank you all for your support. And while we realize that there are other courts that will have to weigh in on this decision, we do know that tonight, today, we can go to sleep knowing that our hopes and our dreams to build our family and have legal marriage can be realized and are closer to becoming true. So again, thank you all very much, and thank you so much to this amazing group of people that I'm surrounded by today.
Good evening. Thank you for being here. I want to start by thanking our fearless leader, Mr. Griffin. Where is he? Right there. And our incomparable attorneys, not just Ted and David, who are a great deal of that incomparability, but also the amazing team that supported them. Would also like to thank AFR, and also would like to thank my parents and the family and friends that have supported us. We've met so many incredible new friends on this journey, and we want to thank them for their support as well. I grew up in New Jersey and was blessed to have a family that loved and supported me. I was raised to believe in the American dream, that if you worked hard and you played by the rules, everyone got an equal shot. Well, today, nowhere is that American dream more real than in the state of California. It was really devastating for Paul and I to be viewed unequally in the eyes of our fellow citizens and our government. But we're not here to change the world. Equality is something that our nation has always been about. We read about it in school. Our ancestors came to this country in search of it. Well, this decision today brings Paul and I and so many others like us closer to that equality too. We understand that this decision is just the beginning, and we're on our way to the Supreme Court. But we know that we have the law, the incredible people you see behind you, and so many more on our side. Thank you. And I'd like to introduce my soon-to-be husband, Paul Katami.
Thank you, Jeff, for setting me up for a cry fest. This is going to be fun. I'm already labeled the emotional one, so why not continue that? Today is a very good day. Jeff and I have been together for almost 10 years, and like any other couple that has been that long together, we desire to be married. But under the law of Proposition 8, although it recognizes and honors the marriages of our friends and our neighbors, it puts us in a different category. Now, I believe that we live in a nation of equal laws, and today's decision affirms my belief. Jeff and I are blessed to have families and friends and neighbors who support us. And it's still difficult for us to describe how it feels when the law and your government tells you that you're unworthy or you're unequal. And I can't help but imagine the people whose families are not like ours, whose communities are less tolerant. And I just want to say that this case is equally about them as it is about us. We want them to know that they're not alone. We're working for them, and that countless people across the country have come together through this case to advance equal rights, to ensure that every single American is treated the way our founders wanted us to be treated, that we are all of us created equally. So we're waiting for that day where you don't have to go to court to fight for your constitutional rights. We're waiting for the day when we can be married. It's as simple as that. Jeff and I firmly believe in our Constitution, and we believe that our rights will be vindicated once and for all. But none of this would have been possible without the amazing work of David and Ted, Chad, and the entire team that so firmly believed in equality. So I want to thank them for their hard work, and for the hard work ahead to get this through the Supreme Court, which I firmly believe we will prevail at. So Along this ride, we've met so many people. There's so many people out there across the country that have been supporting us, and some of those people are listening to us right now. And we just want to say thank you for your support. We need that support, and we need that community. And based on that, we have today's victory, and we will continue our fight to Washington and to the Supreme Court. Thank you so much for being here.
David and I cannot begin to come up to the level of what you've already heard from Chad and from our clients. The emotional content of the experience that we've been through since we began this case not too much more than a year ago cannot be described, but you can see and feel some of it today. I thank each of you for being here today, because you are the press. You are the ears and the eyes and the voices for the American people who could not have been at that trial. Some Americans were able to come, but your cameras could not have been there. And we felt from the beginning that it was unfortunate that every American could not have seen this trial, seen the experts talk about the value of marriage, the history of discrimination, the value of equality, and all of the things that this case involves, including love and commitment and respect and decency and honor, the things that our clients have been fighting for, and not just fighting for themselves, but for fighting for tens of thousands of people in this state and around the United States. It is great that this happens in San Francisco. That proposition is overturned by a federal judge in San Francisco. It really means a lot, because San Francisco has always been there fighting for gay and lesbian individuals. And the city and county of San Francisco, you'll hear from in a moment, fought with us all the way to attain this result. This is a victory for the American people. It's a victory for our justice system. When our individual rights are taken away, when the majority decides that an unpopular group of individuals should be treated differently, and they can't succeed at the ballot box because they are unpopular, because they are a minority, because they are viewed differently by a number of people in the populace, they turn to the courts of the United States, and we have a spectacular Constitution that values equality and values fundamental rights and values an independent judiciary to protect and vindicate those rights. I have to say that this case has been phenomenal, because the Chief Judge of the Federal District Court in Northern District of California in San Francisco, Chief Judge Vaughn Walker, handled this case with meticulous care, with sensitivity, with concern about the rights of every party in that courtroom on both sides, listened to the evidence. Many of you were there during the course of the trial. Many of you have in your hands 138 pages of analysis of all of the evidence, the legal arguments. This is what American justice is all about. When a judge, an independent judge, tries hard to listen to all of the evidence, analyze the issues, and comes to a conclusion and vindicates the rights of a minority of our citizens to be treated with decency and respect and equality in our system. We are so grateful for the justice system that brought us to this moment today. As others have said before me, we have other battles ahead of us. But with this decision, carefully analyzing the evidence, we are well on our way toward an ultimate victory, and that nothing could be better for the American people, the people of California, and particularly the people of San Francisco.